तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The most important need of our life, spiritual evolution and spiritual unfoldment, without which we can never think of attaining peace or joy in this life. The earthly life in this world, where everything is impermanent, everything is a passing show, nothing remains, there you can never expect a joy to be there unless we transcend all our limitations and external sheaths that we are covering and reach the unchanging, eternal existence. Be it taking up the inward journey to the innermost core where the Lord dwells, or expansion of the external to transcend the nature external and peep beyond and reach beyond. Is the eternal unchanging in which the universe and all beings appear and disappear time and again. So we must go from this anitya asukham lokam, Sri Krishna says, anityam asukham lokam imam prapsya bhajasvama. Having come to this world of mortals where everything is constantly changing flux, because of which it is anitya. There is no lasting things and there is no sukha. It is a constantly unending war. There may be a little pleasure, sense pleasures, but neither happiness nor the real bliss. That which remains unchanging when everything changes. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna's message and teaching coming to our rescue to activate our longing for God before the body falls off. Realize who you are. Who am I? What is our relationship? That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. Much before the fall of the body, you must become independent of the body. Know yourself, whence you came and where to you are going. So the whole secret lies in transcending nature. Can we holding on to this world of impermanency, where whatever you do is going to disappear? Can you attain which is eternal? In Upanishad they say, Nastya krita akritena, Nastya akrita kritena. This akrita, which is uncreated, the absolute existence, can you attain it by doing something here, kritena, which is uncreated? Can you attain through creation? No. Whatever you do here, in this world of time, space and causation is going to be destroyed, is going to be erased, and we have to transcend and go beyond. So, where do we make mistake? Sri Ramakrishna says, pressing needs of life you attend to, don't waste time on anything else. When the old age comes, we all repent. Why did I do all this? Nothing is remaining of what I have done. Progeny is going to be destroyed. The wealth and material objects that I acquired is going to disappear. The achievements, great achievements in life, they are going to be erased. Nothing remains. I have to go alone leaving this body. All leave me, nobody can accompany me, nor I can stay here a moment more than what I am destined to. So then, why did I do all this? Why did I do all this? Just calling on God was sufficient. He was bliss absolute. I could have had everything if I were to have had Him. Now I am empty hand. I spent my life in earning and gaining something perishable, fought for what is going to be perishable, and spent my life. So there we see the slowly wisdom dawns, but life is gone. Like that, Sri Ramakrishna wants, attend to the pressing needs of the moment and keep your link with the Divine. Call on the Divine and dedicate your life for higher achievements, to transcend all what is within. By building up hospitals or anything, you are not going to cross over the inner, win over the inner enemies. You are postponing the fight. You have to do whatever you can within your limits. Don't thrust yourself beyond limits unless it is a path given to you by your Guru or God, Ishtadevata, or nature prompting from within beyond the understanding of words and thought. Something, a divine whisper, an intuitive awareness to do something good, because it is when the order comes from the higher levels, it has a purpose. There is a person who is going to take the responsibility, entire responsibility. If it comes from the Divine, as Adesha, instruction from the Divine, then the Divine which has instructed you to do will take the responsibility. You are not bound by the karma. Even if you do good to people, without seeing the Divine in them, it is going to be a cause of bondage, because it is going to bind you with the golden chain of earning merit. If you do bad things, how you will be bound by the iron chain, and you will be suffering here, whether it is golden chain or iron chain. You are bound by the chain, you are chained that you cannot move. We have to go beyond good and bad. Where is the time? If you spend the time a little needed to sustain life in this world, to live a decent life without stretching our hands to others, but to give something to whoever stretches hand in front of us, that is sufficient. Kabir says, "O Lord, give me that much that I will not remain hungry and a person who comes to my door doesn't go empty-handed. I have no more wants in my life. So that is the life Sri Ramakrishna expects. Call on God, spend more and more time of leisure in contemplation of God, calling Him with a longing heart. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is telling us. Here we see undertake only those works that present themselves to you and are of pressing necessity, and those also in a spirit of detachment. No attachment to fruits, nor action. Many people are attached to action. They cannot remain calmly sit somewhere when work is not there. They acquire excessive rajas. We have to move towards sattva, inner tranquility, inner peace. When situations stand against, when favorable conditions are replaced by the unfavorable conditions, then can you remain peaceful? Can you call on the divine? Can you call on God? Love God in spite of all external situations being in a opposite way that you expect it to be. There we are tested. So it is not good to become involved in many activities that makes one forget God. The purpose of life is to realize God. Coming to the Kali Ghat, many people perhaps spend their whole time in giving alms to poor. They don't get the time to call on God. Then you may give or may not give alms as you wish. Once you meet the deity in the temple, offer your love, thankfulness and gratitude at her feet, then everything is done. That is the purpose of going to a temple. Work is only means to the realization of God. Therefore I said to Shambhu, suppose God appears before you, then will you ask Him to build hospitals and dispensaries for you? Laughter. A devotee, a lover of God never says that. He will rather say, O Lord, give me a place at thy lotus feet. Keep me always in thy company. Give me sincere and pure love for thee. So, Sri Ramakrishna says, you have to do good to the world. And how will you do? Whatever is within your limits and the opportunity presents itself without running after that. And if you see to be pressing need, suppose a man is suffering and we need to go and serve, rush forth, don't wait, because it's a pressing need. You have to be up and doing. So like that, a lover of God never says that. Give me sincere and pure love for thee. Karma yoga is very hard indeed. Karma yoga is very hard indeed. In Kali Yuga, it's extremely difficult to perform the rites enjoined in scriptures. Nowadays, man's life is centered on food alone. He cannot perform many scriptural rites. Suppose man is laid up with fever. If you attempt to slow cure with the old-fashioned indigenous remedies, before long his life may be snuffed out. He can't stand much delay. Nowadays, the drastic Digupta mixture is appropriate. In Kali Yuga, the best way is Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, singing the praises of Lord and prayer. The path of devotion alone is the religion for the age. We must see that Karma Yoga, doing good to the world without any expectations, Karma Yoga has a deeper understanding and a clear, specific awareness to be created. Otherwise, it is going to bind. Sri Ramakrishna says it's very hard, not because we are not able to do much work or activities. We can. At least we can build up groups and do great works. But the thing is, are we able to see the divine in the person whom we are serving? Otherwise, it becomes a entirely different turn it takes to be cause of bondage. Yoga is where I get released from all bonds. But if Karma Yoga is going to bind me more than releasing, how can I adopt it? When does it bind? When you see a man whom you serve as man, and the same man when you serve as God, you will see that it becomes a source of joy for you and a source of release of all bondages. Because whomever I serve, whatever way I am going to serve a person, then the services that I offer to him, how is he going to utilize it? It depends upon. Suppose I give a little energy by giving food. What is he going to do with that? Because it's an action, he becomes an agent like. Suppose I ask a person to do good or a person to do bad. I am the shareholders of his action, good and bad. Similarly, I may feed a person, I may educate a person. How is he going to utilize that education? He is going to earn money. If he is going on the bad ways of spending the money for worldly enjoyments, then I am the shareholder. I am going to get the suffering which he also shares with me. Suppose I give education to a person, utilizes for good ways, teaching others, earning money for good causes, then he is spending in a good way, then the merit comes to me. But I have to go beyond the merit and demerit, papa, punya. I have to go beyond. So, unless I see the divine in him, the divine is going to, whom I serve in that person, the divine, he is not going to commit good or bad acts. There are two in every body. The Lord is dwelling there as the Antaryamin. There is the person who is subjected to action and reaction. God is never subjected to action and reaction. Both are living in the same bodily existence, the indweller God and the individual soul. The Upanishads tell about the two birds perching on the same tree, and that is what one is calmly sitting uninvolved in its own glory, and other is jumping about, eating sometimes good, sometimes sweet fruits, sometimes bitter. Each time it eats bitter, it looks at the other bird. Oh, how beautiful it is sitting in its own glory. I am running after here and there, sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter. What is this? I want to be that. It goes one step ahead and sees the fruits again and forgets the goal to be reached. Immediately it puts its hand on the fruits, plucks and eats, and sees, oh, whenever bitter comes, it wants to go beyond. So finally, climbing step by step towards the other bird, which is sitting in its own glory, you will see, finally it goes and sits by the side, looks at it, and it wants to become what that is. But the moment it reaches it, it sees that there were never two. There was only one, which was internally sitting uninvolved, externally running about, trying to enjoy the fruits of this action in this world. So this is what we see, how we waste our time. Similarly, we have to be careful in spending our time. Every moment of our life has to peacefully go at the feet of God. We are spiritual aspirants, seekers of God, who are ready to pay its price and transcend the nature and go beyond. Then we see that it's just like Sri Ramakrishna says to Shambhu Malik, oh, don't do that. Don't rush into activities. There is no need. First realize God, transcend. He wants to rush forth. Sri Ramakrishna says, no, that is not the way. That's the way to involvement. There is a way to evolution. We need evolution, not involution. Like that, we see in the Buddha's life also. Buddhas used to go from village to village begging for alms. He would get bhiksha and eat. About hundreds of bhikkhus started joining him, taking the life of sannyasa and moving with him. Goes to a village, takes his bhiksha, returns back. All the sadhus go here and there, take their begging bowl and go and find their food, come back and eat it. After finishing their food, most of them relax here and there. 3 are relaxing together in some closed area. One of them says, look, this king, Bimbisara, the king of Magadha king, he has extended his kingdom so vast, and he has acquired huge amount of wealth. The other person who was another bhikkhu contradicts him. No, there is the Kosala king, who is much more richer than this king. Prasenjit, the king of Kosala, is much more. He says, no, you don't know. The Bimbisara has much more than. The argument is going on between the two. And the third person is just listening, lying down, relaxing after food. And the things are going on. And Buddha happens to pass by that place and just enters the place where these people are lying down. They get up and sit. And Buddha asks them, "What are you discussing about?" The first person who spoke becomes silent. The second person who was arguing with him also becomes silent. The third person who was lying down and listening, he says, "Lord, they were discussing about which king is greater, the Kosaladisha or the Bimbisara of Magad." Immediately, Buddha says, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you discussing about? You have taken up the spiritual life and unwanted things of the world with which you are not concerned. You are going to discuss this. This is not fair. Don't waste your time in discussing anything. You can discuss anything under the sky regarding spiritual world, spiritual life, but God and philosophy. What are you talking about? Unwanted, destructive things of the world. We end up this way, hereafter." See how these people are very clear about the path that we are traveling, that no diversions, no digressions. Move. Life is so short. By the time you see here, there, life goes away. Where is the time to transcend the nature? Where will you conquer your inner enemies? If you spend even a moment's delay may take another life. So every moment you must be cautious, vigilant, and see that nothing captures you in this world. No thought you carry in your mind, just float without catching anything, without getting involved. Just move about, doing your duties and offering those duties as a worship unto the divine. This is the message we time and again hear from these people, evolved souls, and also even the incarnation of God. And all saints say, waste no more time. You wasted many, many lives. Where is your past life? Gone forever. And what you have done since childhood to evolve further, nothing. So waste no more time. Utilize every moment of your life to reach the ultimate goal of human life. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.